Good evening, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Planet's longest river, Amazon, teaches us one thing. Running 6,400 kilometers, starting from the Andes mountain, covering 9 countries, while meeting its destination after 6,400 kilometers. World's deepest river, Amazon, teaches us one thing. Carrying 20% of the entire planet's riverine water in its body, covering the whole width of the continent of South America, the world's longest river, Amazon, teaches us one thing. That is to look at the life long term. Amazon teaches that anything achieved in the life short term vanish short term, and anything achieved in life long term stays long term. Friends, do you think the greatest river in the world, upon which a bridge has not been constructed until today, is unconquerable? No. Amazon, with all its greatness, is still conquerable. In the year 2007 came the big river man, the fishman, the hero in Speedo, 4 Guinness Book record holders, long distance swimmer, Martin Strel. Strel the swimmer came, and he came to swim the entire distance, 6,400 kilometers of Amazon. His earlier Guinness Book records, swimming the whole length of the river of Missouri, Mississippi, North America's longest river, world's third longest river, River Danube, Europe's second largest river after Volga, River Yangtze, China's largest river, Asia's longest river. He came to swim River Amazon. They said, no, 4,400 kilometers you can't swim, because it starts from the Andes mountain of the Peru. At large, you can swim 5,800 kilometers. That is the length from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, coming and again going back. That is the length of the entire width of the Atlantic Ocean, where the Amazon meets its final destination after traveling 6,400 kilometers. The 9 continents, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil. Friends, Strel jumped into the water, Amazon. Do you think Martin Strel was young by that time? No. He was 53 years old, born in 1955. In the year 2007, when Martin Strel jumped to make the world record of swimming the entire length of River Amazon, he was not young. He was 53 years old. The doctors said, your blood pressure level will come to a heart attack level. Before meeting the goal of your life, you will die. Then they said, do you know the wildlife of River Amazon? You will not survive few kilometers in the River Amazon. What you are talking about, going an entire 5,800 kilometers. You know about the Martin Strel, the big river man, the fishman, the hero in Speedo. He jumped into the water. You know, in the way he met Black Cayman. Black Cayman, the 20 feet long black crocodile of River Amazon. The king of River Amazon. No one can escape its sharp teeth and the huge long mouth. He met the river sharks of Amazon, where Amazon was 500 feet deep at certain place. There came the river sharks of Amazon. There he met the 30 feet long anaconda, the predator of Amazon, who grows in height every day till he dies in old age, when the human being stops growing after they become age of 18, but the anaconda does not stop growing. It grows and grows. And there he met, apart from the wildlife, there he met the blistering, relentless sun, hitting its sunlight, the scorching heat over his head. Then he met the pirates, the river pirates, who loot the people who travel on the river on a boat. Then he met the drug peddlers of Colombia, the drug cartel of Colombia, Venezuela. There, but the worst of all, he met the piranha, the red-bellied, 1 foot long, razor sharp teeth piranha, the flesh eater piranha, the fish who eats away the human flesh in 1 minute and leaves only the skeleton. It eats away the human flesh within minutes by its razor sharp teeth and meat. He met all of them. How did he escape and made the world record? Martin Strill, he has made. He invited all the supporting boats. Wherever he was swimming, it was preceded and followed by the supporting boats. Those boats were carrying tons of meat and buckets of blood. Wherever piranha is coming, anaconda coming, black caiman, the crocodile is coming, they are throwing into the water tons of meat to distract the attention of the wild creatures. And when the piranha is coming, they were throwing meat as well as the buckets of blood into the river Amazon, so that by sniffing the blood, piranha is distracted and Strill finding the way, going in the swimming. 66 days Martin Strill took to cover the entire length of river Amazon. 66 days he swam across the river of Amazon. And when he reached the last point in the country of Brazil, before meeting the Atlantic Ocean, he was followed in the way by a single-minded black caiman. Single-minded black caiman was 20 feet long. He was going to eat Martin Strill. Was coming. At that time, the helicopters came. Then the helicopters were sitting in the helicopters. The Brazils, the leaders, they said, pick him up. The black caiman is following him. It has left nobody. The king of river Amazon is following Martin Strill. He can't escape. You know what happened? But Martin Strill said, if my death is written in my life, I will die someday. Every man who is born in this earth will die someday. But if I die on the chest of river Amazon, in the mouth of a black caiman, by the razor sharp teeth of a piranha, I will think my life worth living than dying on the bed in the old days. He said, they knew he will not feel happy. They throw the rivers, they throw how much of meat and blood the supporting board throw. The black caiman ate everything, is still chased. Patil. Then the last moment came. Black caiman, deep into the black caiman, took the deep. The Martin Strill knew the nature of black caiman. He will go from the deep and it will come from the deep and pull Strill from down. It was the last 2 feet there. Strill took a dip and moved a final jump, a final leap he moved. He made a giant leap. You remember what he said, the first man on moon, Neil Armstrong, a small step for a man and a giant leap for a mankind. He put a giant leap. The black caiman got in this way and he was flying in the above way. And he put there, before the black caiman crocodile coming into the shore, other side, his supporters put the rope and they pulled him, and lo, Martin Strel has made the Guinness Book of World Record, the unbroken world record, swimming the entire length of river Amazon, 508 kilometers. Friends, what he's taught in the life, he said, look at the life long term. Have a vision, long term. Don't look like short term. People look like little difficulties in their life. They look at the cobwebs hanging from the window, but beyond the window, the open sky is there. We need to look that. When you look at the fan, it is stopped. We look at the darts hanging over the blade of the fan, but we should think of the coolness that the fan is providing. When you look at the mirror, we should reflect our own, how it is happening, how am I, and those are the things are there. Coming from the Amazon, friends, last week, the Congressional Committee has summoned planet's richest man. Planet's Jeff Bezos was summoned by Congressional Committee in the United States. They asked her, you explain, how did you acquire so much of wealth? How you become the planet's richest man in only a few decades? You explain. We need to know. The world need to know. How did you do it? You know what Jeff Bezos said? He said, he said his life story. He said his life story before Congressional Committee, which is worth listening. Man, world's richest man was born when his mother was only 17 years old. A minor girl child. Her mother was in the school when Jeff Bezos was born. Bezos was born when her mother was not even a major girl. She was a minor girl. And the school principal threw her mother away. He said, minor girl, mother, no, it is not a right thing. It is not a legal thing. We cannot take you in our school. You please leave. His mother went place to place. While when Bezos was only 2 years old, his father divorced her mother and left away. And Jeff Bezos came into the mercy of his grandparents and minor, at that time, 19-year-old mother, no job, grandparents, farmer. He came, his childhood was full of struggle, and he was adopted by the new husband of her mother, who was a Cuban. He did not know, he did not speak even a single word in English, coming from South America's Cuba, the sugar bowl of the world. Then he did not know, and his step brothers and sisters came, and the life of Jeff Bezos in childhood was full of struggles. But as an outstanding student of the school, he entered as a young man to America's renowned Princeton University. When he renowned in the Princeton University, he went there, New Jersey. He came out flying colors throughout the life, a class topper, a genius. The genius Bezos came out. Then what happened? Then he got a job. He got a job in the high flying of the New York's, investment firm. He got a job, and he said, Mom, your years gone, bad days are gone. Now I will take care of you. Like that he was coming. Then in America came the great revival of the .com business, the internet business. The great revival of the internet business. Everybody started internet business in 1990s. The computers came. The computers started upgrading. Everybody. Then Jeff Bezos thought, wow, can I do it? What I am doing it here. I have all the ideas. Why should not do it? He reached the office of the boss and he said, boss, I want to resign. The boss turned, you are the vice president of my company. You are my chief investment, executive, and you want to retire, you want to resign. Why? He said, I want to start my own .com business. He took it. Come, Bezos, we will go for a long walk. His boss took him for a long walk in the garden of that corporate, and he said, the business you are telling is good, but it is for someone who has no job. The business you are telling is meant for a person who is an unemployed person. You are already having a nice job in your kitty. Thousands of dollars are coming to your pocket every week. Why do you bother all about that selling book online? People are not reading the book in the hand copy only. What you are telling, this will not go like that. Or they say, here is my resignation letter, I want to do on my own something. I want to, if I am not able to do now, if I am coming out of the internet race now, then I will never be able to go inside the race. Now the race is being started. Now it is the time to begin the race. If now I go and sit in the stadium, I will ever for my life a spectator, but not a sprinter. Bezos, he quit the job. He came to mother. Mother asked, what happened? He said, mother, how much of money you are having? He said, you said, Jeff, my boy, you said that you don't care of money. I will take care of you. Now you are asking me how much money I have. I have this much of dollars only there. Now, mother, I want to borrow about $3 lakh from you and, Papa, will you give me that dollar? Then his father came and asked, why do you want to borrow money? He said, I want to start an internet business. His father came and asked, what is internet? In 1990s, even the people of America did not know what is internet. And today, without internet, in the time of pandemic, in the time of coronavirus spreading time, if it is not internet, there is no life. We are surviving today because of the internet and because of the Jio mobile data. And Jeff Bezos' father, way back in 1990s, while lending money to his stepson, he asked, what is internet? Then his mother said, we are investing money on Jeff Bezos. We are investing money on our son, not on our internet. We may not know what is internet, but we know who is our son. The brightest graduate of Princeton star. He will do what he wants. While taking the money, Bezos said, Mom, there are 70% chance that he will lose the money. There are 70% chances that you will not make any profit and this business will be closed. The pundits came and they made the calculation. They said by the year 2000, this .com business, it is like a bubble. This .com business is like a bubble. One pin will be pure, so it's a bubble in the year 2000 and the entire .com business will burst. Boom, boom, boom. It happened. It happened in the year 2000. .com bubble burst. All business wipe out, but not Amazon. Amazon's rivals were wiped out, but not Amazon, because Bezos has looked the long term. He hired only 3 employees. What is the strategy? He hired only 3 employees, did not take any building or corporate office. In the garage of his grandfather's house only, he has made a small office with 3 employees. Himself was tying the online books courier, which the people has placed the order. One day his employee he asked his employee, body, what do we can do so that we can increase our sales? His employee co-worker said, first you bring a good mat I want to put under my knee while tying this one, then we will talk about his business. Today Amazon is having 8 lakh employees. The lakhs and lakhs of delivery boys are moving throughout the planet Earth. By that time what happened? Then when you came there particularly today what happened in the pandemic is going on, friends. When unfortunately all the shopping malls and the shops and all the rising star malls are closed, what happened to Amazon? Amazon earned $5 billion in the first quarter of 2020. Amazon's share has grown 70% high during the era of pandemic when all businesses are locked down. Amazon earned $4 billion only by supplying the coronavirus material. When the entire business is coming down and down, Jeff Bezos, Amazon is going up and up, and $36,000 is the Bezos income per minute, which is the average income of an American throughout the year. He earns only in 1 minute. Before the congressional committee, Jeff Bezos said, "Sir, I did only one thing. I always thought of long term. I always thought that how the people will give the shortest information in their Kindle, in their tab, in their laptop, instead of going all the way to the bookshop and searching that one." Friends, everybody is telling now people don't love reading books anymore. That is true. People may have not loving the books on the print form, but definitely on the digital form they are reading. Otherwise, why Jeff Bezos is still world's richest man even after his divorce and his ex-wife taking a substantial part of his income, is still the world's the richest man, and he will continue because he is in the .com business. Friends, now coming there to of our shining stars in the sky, Indian, Worli Seaface. Worli Seaface is one of my most popular destinations in the weekends. Whether it is low tide, when the sea is 1 kilometer inside and the black rocks are showing its head all the way, the rocky beach of Worli Seaface, whether it is there, or it is high tide, when the sea water, 2-meter high sea water is flushing all over the Worli Seaface, the promenade and its walking footpath. I go and laugh. One day I was there standing and I was buying the raw mango from a raw mango seller who was putting it on his chest. The raw mango sellers of Worli Seaface, their shop is hanging from their neck. It is like a plate is there. On this plate, this is raw mango, this is the red chili, this is chili powder, this is lemon, this is the chole, and this is the onion, and all this is the tamarind, and all this is there. And there I am eating. Then I saw in jockey trousers and Nike shoe, one old man came jogging there. And what made me curious was that he was followed by half a dozen suited, booted, tie-putting Armani suit and Gucci pedal. They were following him. I was surprised. I thought, who is this man in his jockey suits and truck suits? He is jogging and he is followed by half a dozen of suited, booted executives, and they are talking and he is still talking. And then he stopped, said hi to the raw mango vendor, and still run. The raw mango vendor started elated. He started as if he is the seventh heaven. And I asked, who is this man? He said, the raw mango seller said, I don't know his name, but he is a big bank boss. I said, bank boss? Bank boss, yeah, I know. He's Mr. Aditya Puri. He's Mr. Aditya Puri. I read in somewhere that Aditya Puri never miss Worli Seaface in the evening. Wow, he's Aditya Puri. Then I wait when he came, then I came and read that Aditya Puri sold 75 lakh shares of HDFC Bank, the India's largest private bank, and he had earned 850 crore rupees. Aditya Puri earned 850 crore rupees by selling 75 lakh shares of HDFC Bank on the occasion of his retirement on 30th October 2020, when he is becoming 70 years old. Friends, in India, there are 138 crore population is there. And there are 6.8 crore people file the income tax returns papers, and there are 3 lakh chartered accountants, and there are 1,25,000 practicing chartered accountants are there. So Aditya Puri was also a chartered accountant way back in 1990s, but he is the shining star of all chartered accountants. From Delhi, Aditya Puri came to Mumbai, and when he came to Mumbai, he was traveling. Mumbai local trains are awful. It is carrying 5,000 people when its capacity is 1,600. And Aditya Puri was there jammed in the first class compartment, traveling from his sharing guest house in Kolaba to his office of Kandivali Mahindra and Mahindra. He came there appointed as a chartered accountant. In the train, he was like that, pushed that. I said, what is this? Then, his cousin brother was in Citibank. And his cousin brother, he said, I am going abroad, one vacancy is there. If you want, you can try. Oh, wow, yes, sure. Citibank is in South Mumbai, and I will also live in South Bombay. At that time, it was Bombay. South Bombay. He came, and Nannu, you met him, his boss, Nannuji was, he was a tough task maker. He got the job. But every day, phone will come from Nannuji. Oh, what happened today? I want this much of profit. It has to be got a tough task matter. Everybody was afraid of him, and everybody was also scared of him. One day Aditya Puri, he said, boss, how much profit you want? How much profit you want? Then he quoted an amount. He said, what about 50% more? Aditya Puri said, I will give you 50% more profit on one condition. You will not call me and remind me of what to do. He agreed, and he got his profit. Wow! 50% rise in the profit. Great person. Then Mr. Parekh of SDFC Limited invited him, and he came to see SDFC. Private bank in India. There are government banks are there, nationalized banks are there, then there are foreign banks are there like Citibank. Why the private bank? It was banned long back. All banks were nationalized during the time of emergency. Now, after liberalization, private bank, what is that? Who will invest money in private bank? If somebody will take your loan and not repay, what you will do? There are people, to whomsoever he has discussed about the idea of a private bank. He did not. But he knew the vision. He knew that the nationalized banks are having network, and the foreign banks are having technology and service. If network and service is married together, then among them will come out the shining star of a private bank. SDFC, he built SDFC, and from 1990 to the year today, it become the India's largest private bank. Last year, Aditya Puri's salary was 20 crore, but his bonus from the stakes was 160 crore. About 200 crore was his perks and salary and income last year, and he became 70 years old. I said, no, I want to vacate my chair for the younger generation. I want to go to the field of philanthropy and serve my life to the people of India and abroad. That's what you said. Had he become a chartered accountant or working in a farm, or even if doing his own business, he could not have earned 850 crore rupees from his sales and shares. That is the long-term vision. When Aditya Puri started SDFC Bank in Lower Parel, Kamala Nehru compound, that place was so small that even the rats were coming and they were killing the cables of them in every year. He was it was the difficult situation he made it, and today it is coming them. Friends, it's the life of these people when you discuss, today itself only the news came that SD Sibural, the silent seventh executive of Infosys, silent seventh executive of Infosys, silent seventh executive. He has when Narayan Murthy saw the vision of Infosys, All seven executives, Gopal Krishnan, Raghavan, and our Nandan Nilekani, all of them, they quit Patni Computers and started their own business with an investment of only 10,000 rupees. Narayan Murthy did not even have that much of money. He borrowed from his wife Sudha Murthy, and they all started a business, and they had the vision. They shared the vision. Then today what happened when S.D. Sibulal, who is popularly known as Sibu, when Sibu sir has wanted to retire, he sent 75 lakh shares of Infosys, and that is the price of 777 crore rupees. That he earned, starting from 1980s. In 1980s, when they started Infosys, they did not even have one computer. It took them 2 years to buy one computer at that time. And today, it is India's second largest the information technology company after TCS. In way back, it has opened its 18th office in the US to cater the needs of Harley Davidson. There is 250,000 employees and all over the world. It is a dream for a young engineer to become an engineer with Infosys. And way back there, they were telling that Sibulal was asked, what is your vision? They said, when we the seven partners, we never have a different opinion for anything. That is the submission. We submitted to the vision of Narayan Murthy, and in the return, we become the family members. And each member came and stayed in the house of another, like brothers, close friends, companions, comrades they become. And today, all of them are becoming millionaires. And so, friends, when every parent, I always talk about parenting, a few lines. Sibulal, how is a great parent, one daughter and one son. His daughter Shruti, after completing his education in the US and doing a lucrative job in Merrill Lynch in the New York, he said, Pa, I want to quit my job. Sibulal said, always I treat my kids as if they are adults. I said, okay, but what you want to do in India? He said, in Bangalore, I want to open a restaurant in Bangalore. Sibulal's wife, Kumari, he said, hotel, you did not get any other business in the world to do. You are doing to open a hotel in Bangalore. Sibulal's daughter will sell tea. Then Sibulal said, don't worry. You come and take the topmost chef and start your own restaurant and make it big. She came and started her whole day. After some time she came and, Papa, my dream got selfish. I want to go and read MBA. Go and do it. And Sibulal's son Shreyas, 20 years old, reading in the US computer science. They said, I never interfere in the decision making of my kids. I always treat them as if they are adults. No second opinion, no argument about what they want to become in their life. Our parents always just look only two things. They become either doctors or they're engineers at one level, and they're at the other level, they are the IAS. Friends, that IAS result only came very recently, and when I was reading the IAS result, it was happy to know that among the top 10 toppers of this country, there are 3 bright girls are there. My heads off to the All India rank 2. Friends, All India rank 2, Pratibha Verma. She was becoming All India girl topper as well as All India rank holder number 2. And the coming down in the list, there are number 5. The number 5 is their number Bishaga Yadav is the number 5. Then the number 9, in the number 9 is Sanjita Mahapatra. There are 3 toppers in the best 10 of highest topper for the first time in the history. There are 3 girls are there among top 10 toppers. And friends, the Mr. Pradeep Singh, hats up to him, All India rank 1. These results came today of the test which was happened due to pandemic in Corona. And the friends, there are 10 lakh students who apply for IAS out of 2 crore students who dream of becoming an IAS in their life. Every postgraduate student in every university of this country wants to become an IAS officer. But only 10 lakh students come forward with guts and they sign the form. Out of the 10 lakh students, after signing the form, half of them don't show their face on the day of prelim exam, and 4,50,000 students really come and take the prelim exam. Out of 4,50,000 students, only 11,000 students selected, filtered up to the level of written test that happened in the month of September 2019. In the month of September 2019, only 11,000 students were allowed to write written exam out of 4,50,000 students who appeared prelim. Out of 11,000 students, only 2,500 students were called for personality test and interview. Out of 2,500 students who were called personality test and interview, 829 civil service posts were filled today. Friends, where is 829 and where is 2 crore? That is coming, the filtering out at every stage till reaching this term. Out of 829 students, there are only 150 vacancies are there for the post of Indian Administrative Service. Another 150 are there for the vacancies in the post of Indian Police Service. About 25 vacancies are there in the field of Indian Foreign Service, and the rest of them are there for Group A and B officers post. So total 829 vacancies are there for the civil service, but IAS is only 150 every year out of 2 crore students. So friends, what is the reason? What is the reason that only 150 reach that level out of that 2 crore? Friend, whenever I read the competition success review and I read the success mantras revealed by the toppers, I find out it is not intelligence. It is not a brilliant mind. It is not a sharp mind. It is the consistent and persistent approach towards their goal for a long time. Life is like a river Amazon. It is 6,400 kilometers. From a very childhood, they are groomed to dream big and achieve big. They think of long term. Parents come out and they see that their kid got a high percentage in one, then they jump, I will make him an IAS, I will make her IAS. It is a long, they can become. But if it is a part of that exam result is a part of a long-term goal, then only it will happen. Friend, it is not doing 24 hours in one day, but it is doing 1 hour in every day of 24 days. Friends, people do with a lot of josh, 2 days, 3 days, then they leave, they think of short term. Success will not come. It is a long term, doing small things in a long term can only take our goals to there. The women toppers of India, I congratulate all of them, but out of that 829 students, there are only 250 women are there. The ratio are still less. It is appearing largely a male-dominated field, just because in the higher and higher level of this clinching, bone-breaking competitive exams, our women should come out and perform all, they should stand on par with them. And friends, by seeing all these achievers, toppers and all these things, I remember one story, that story of that how they becoming this one. Friends, there is one busy executive was there. The busy executive was always coming, taking, bringing the work from home and occupying a room and telling, no, I'm busy, don't talk with anybody, my career is there. I brought work home and I have to do, And his daughter was there. His daughter was very sharp and intelligent daughter. He came and said, Pa, you said we will play together and today you are not coming. What happened? Yesterday you said, little bit, 5 minutes, you see one thing, one work you do for him, then I will come and play with you. You know what happened? There was one torn out world map was there. One torn out world map was there and he brought out there and he gave there and said, this map you see this map is like that one. You join the map by take this transparent sellotape. Take the transparent sellotape, take the scissor, put the sellotape in such a way that the world map will become exactly same. The ocean will come at the ocean place, the sea will come at sea place, and the continent will come its continent place, and the mountain will come in this place. You make it, then I will. He thought world map, this tiny gal, how he will take 2-3 hours and he may not be able to do that. By that time I will do my work. Within 5 minutes, the girl came and said, Pa, I did it. Look. Amazing. How did you do it? Amazing. How did you do it? Then, he turned that other side. In the other side was the picture of a human being. In the other side was the picture of a human being. And he did not do the world map right. He made the human being to do right because it was easier. The human being's parts of body, the hands, limbs, fingers, legs, head, and the chest, it was easier. So he did that. So friends, the moral of the story is that we should always look at ourselves. We should not look at the world at large. We should look at the human being. That is we. We can change only one person who is standing in front of the mirror. We cannot go and change the whole world. Friends, yesterday I saw one of my favorite movie in Amazon Prime, that is Shakuntala Devi. I saw the Shakuntala Devi, the brightest side of Shakuntala Devi, doing calculations without any rough work, doing 8-digit calculations, multiplication and division without using a pen and paper, without using calculator, doing calculation from his own mind, and he's telling and finding faults with a computer, doing faster than computer. University of Texas, University College of London, all over the world was telling that the human computer Shakuntala Devi, but at the same time, the picture, that movie, I request all of you to go to Prime and see that movie. It's beautiful. The dark side of a mother, the brightest side of a superstar, and the dark side of a mother. Not able to nurture the baby properly. The daughter is getting fed up with its success. The daughter is not happy of what Shakuntala is there. The daughter is telling that you failed as a mother. An unsuccessful wife, a dissatisfied wife, a dissatisfied husband, a dissatisfied daughter of father and mother, and a mother of a dissatisfied daughter. A dark family is portrayed against the brightest light of Shakuntala Devi. Wherever he goes, the whole world is saluting him. But a daughter is telling, I hate maths, This is how the saying, that it is showing that it comes from one formula, that howsoever bright is the sunlight, exactly after 12 hours, darkness is going to come. It means it is impossible to shine in the life all time. In all activities, we can't shine. Darkness will come. We should prepare, keeping in mind the darkness. In one scene, Shakuntala's husband, he's telling that the Sarkari superstar, he was mocked by Shakuntala. He's telling Shakuntala, by hating your parents, you are in action actually doing worse than your parents. You are hating that your parents did not send you to school, and you are not sending your own daughter to the school. What is the difference between you and your father? Your father looked after your money and he took you from school to make your shows where you solve the sums and get money, but did not put you in a formal school any time in your childhood so that you are crying, my childhood was not there. But what are you doing to your daughter? You are taking him from one 5-star hotel to another 5-star hotel while she was sitting in the 5-star hotel's room. You are going and doing to her math shows. He came and threatened Shakuntala, I will go to court and sue you if you will not put my daughter into a boarding school. You know, it said that is a beautiful movie which says that Shakuntala Devi, who could make calculations in her mind without watching to faster than computer, failed as a mother. And their time came when he surrendered before her daughter, and her daughter started realizing the value of her mother, and the daughter started seeing the value of maths, and she again become one of the happiest women of her life. And you know friend, in the darkest moment of her life, even Shakuntala herself could not do the calculations properly. He missed the sums properly, and there when was doing the calculation in her mind, her daughter's angry face was coming to him. So friends, that balance between the professional life and family life, which is one of a matter of a deep concern for the corporate executives of today's busy life, that balance we should learn from Aditya Puri, who never missed Worli Sea Face for his evening comes. He says, come hell or high water, I will be there in my favorite promenade of Worli Sea Face every sunset. We should learn from S.D. Sibulal, who retired by selling his stake in the Infosys and said, I will dedicate my life to philanthropy, to for upliftment of the people of my home state Kerala. I will dedicate, the queen of the tracks, P.T. Usha. She has started her foundation named as Usha, in which all the good, talented sports persons are given all the benefits of the funding. There he is investing his money. He is doing charity. He came out, never interfered with his kids. Always said, so Sibulal and Aditya Puri, from their life, friends, we should learn how to become a great parents. At the same time, when becoming great millionaires, we should learn from Jeff Bezos how to look at the long term in life, and we should learn from the river Amadan how to flow, incessantly throughout the life and never ever to lose our focus and attention. And we should learn from the life of Martin Strel how to take the challenges in the life irrespective of our age, which he said, age is just a number. The BBC Earth's the documentary which was made, friends. I saw also that documentary, The Great River Man. We should see that documentary and see how the Martin Strel is swimming across all the biggest rivers of Mississippi, Nile, Danube and Amazon. 53 years old man. He is swimming for the sake of world peace, for the sake of environment, for the sake of pollution control. All these people should inspire us to follow our old goals, and the women toppers of the UPSC's topmost exam, the IAS toppers, they are teaching us how we should organize our time, how we should do the best things in our life, and don't look at the distractions but look at our future goals of life. With this much, my friends, with today, bye, have a nice day, stay safe, stay great, my friend, all the best.